G'day, my name's Chris and I'm going to show you a cheap and easy way to save a little bit on your heating bills this winter. On cold winter nights you can lose a lot of heat through the top of where your curtain rail track is. So you may have nice thick insulating curtains, but it's possible for an airflow to develop with warm air flowing down from above, flowing past the glass of the window, cooling and coming out as a draft down at floor level. And this can circulate so that you're losing a moderate amount of heat energy through your windows. It's possible to quite cheaply put a halt to that with a hidden pelmet. Now, pelmets will solve that problem as well, but some people don't want the appearance of a pelmet, or they don't have room for one, or the ability to build one and mount it to the wall. This hidden pelmet is something that anybody can do. It just involves some double-sided tape and some light plastic sheet. The circulation of the air around the window gets prevented by blocking it at the top with this strip of plastic, which I'll show you now. So there you might be able to see the strip of plastic that's on top of the curtain rail and is reaching back to the wall behind. The first step is to measure the length of the piece of core flute that you're going to cut. Now I need to measure the width to cut. So the width is between the top of the curtain rail to whatever wall or backing timber you have there. So I'm going with 50 mils there, but measure in 2 or 3 places because it may not be even all the way along. So this piece of the sheet is going to lie on top here. Now you need to decide, is it going to butt up against the timber there, or is it going to lie on top of the timber? Now it depends on the height of your curtain rail whether you decide to butt it up or put it on top, but you need to know, because you need to know where to put the double-sided sticky tape. Double-sided tape between the bottom of the core flute and the top of the curtain rail, and the back side will be either on the edge of the core flute or on the bottom of the core flute. So what you're going to need are a pencil, tape measure, core flute, or whatever brand name this is sold as in your country, which is a very lightweight plastic that's got hollow cores and is easy to cut with a knife. So yes, a knife is what you'll also need. A nice straight edge. Nice long one would be good. I've just got a piece of aluminium here that I found in my garage. And a pair of scissors perhaps, but importantly a cutting board that can be scratched. It doesn't matter if it gets scratched. You don't want to use the kitchen bench like I've got underneath here. So here we have our core flute, and our measurements, if I remember them correctly, were 50 at one end, 60 at the other, and a length of 1440. Now unfortunately the sheet of core flute that I bought is only 1200 long, but that doesn't really matter too much. We can do it in 2 pieces. It doesn't really make much difference to the end result. You probably don't want a lot of pieces. 1 piece would be ideal, but 2 pieces is still okay. So what I'm doing now, I'm putting my straight edge between my 2 points. You can do a pencil line if you want. It's not essential because we're going to go straight to use the knife, and pressing hard on the straight edge so that it doesn't move, I'm going to cut with the knife, but I'm not pressing all the way through. I'm just doing a fairly gentle cut first. So it's only going about halfway through the material. So I'll just go over that cut one more time. I'm still not going all the way through. And then again, this time it'll probably go all the way through. Once you get most of the way through, you actually don't need the straight edge anymore. You can lift it away and then you can see more closely what you're doing. The existing cut helps guide you to keep it straight. So here we have the piece cut off. Pieces. The next step is to put the double-sided tape onto the edge. Now one of these edges is going, in my case, one of these edges is going to rest on top of the curtain rail. The other edge is going to butt up against the wooden back. If you're butting it up against the wooden back, you need double-sided tape on that edge there. But if you're resting it on top of the wooden back, or on top of anything behind, you need the double-sided tape on the bottom edge. Then I'm going to take my double-sided tape, which is, as you can see, quite wide. I don't need anywhere near this width. So what I'm doing is I'm laying this off with just about 10 mils on the core flute, and the rest is hanging off the edge there. And I'm going to lay it all the way down to the end, trying to keep that 10 mil sticking to the core flute, and also trying not to let the rest of the tape touch anything because it will collect dust. So I'm turning it over now with the sticky side up. I'm going to take my knife and using the core flute as a guiding edge, I'm cutting through the double-sided tape. So this double-sided tape's moderately expensive, so I'm only putting a small amount on each of my pieces. You don't really need much. So I'm peeling that away, and when I turn it over, you'll see there's the piece of double-sided tape on the bottom side. It still has its paper covering on it, so it's not sticky to touch. I will be peeling that off later. But that's done that side. Now I need to put a piece on the edge here. So I do the same thing. Well, I do it slightly differently. I'm laying the double-sided tape on my work surface with the sticky side upright, and then I'm carefully going to choose the right edge, the correct edge, which is the back. It's going to be the back that rests against my timber, and I'm going to carefully just lay this onto the sticky side so it'll stick straight away, so that the edge is flush with the edge. The edge of the tape is flush with the edge of my core flute strip. And there I've got it to the end of my piece. So that's stuck on, much wider than we need. Taking the roll off. And now I'm going to do something similar to before. I'm going to use the core flute as a straight edge to cut through that double-sided tape. So this is cutting a very thin edge piece. And to make sure it's firmly stuck, I'm going to put it down on my surface and press down on that. So we have one piece done with an edge of double-sided tape and a bottom side near the edge of the same tape, still with its protective paper coating on. So here we are back at the curtain. What I'm going to do before putting the sheet on there is get a cloth, make sure there's no dust on the surfaces that I'm hoping my double-sided tape will stick to. Right, so I'm just going to hold it up, make sure I've got it the right way around, which is not right, this way around, and make sure that I haven't made any mistakes with my measurements or put my tape onto the wrong edge. The next thing is to peel off the protective paper from both of the tapes. I've already peeled the other one off and lift it into place. Make sure you've got it in the right spot before you touch any surfaces, and then press it onto the curtain rail, squeezing tight so the tape sticks all the way along, at the same time pressing backwards onto the backing board or the wall behind. Okay, so that's in place. So as you can hopefully see, I've got this in place now. Looking from above and from underneath, you can see that that gap is now closed, and the sun's starting to go down, and tonight I think we have a -5 forecast, so hopefully with our curtains closed we'll be stopping that circulation of cold air coming into the room, and maybe I'll save a little bit on my energy bill tonight.